Hello and welcome to the Next Step Challenge program. This introduction video will give you an insight and understanding to the Next Step Canvas model which the team worked with during the program. The Next Step Canvas is a one-pager business model that visualizes how you generate value both externally and internally. In Next Step Canvas, we identify and validate your assumptions, assessing what it means for your value chain, and find the optimal combination that forms the basis for the activities which will finally be transferred to your next step roadmap. It's a dynamic model that we continuously work with during the program. Please be noted that your company has more than one next step canvas, all pending on your solutions, markets or customers. The next step canvas is divided into three main areas. Area number one is called target. In this area, we define what part of your business this specific canvas will focus on. Area number two is called canvas. This is where all the magic happens. This area consists of 11 building blocks, which is furthermore divided into three segments. Segment 1, idea and value proposition. Segment 2, potential and go-to-market. Segment 3, team and operating model. Finally, area number 3 is called brainstorming. This area is located on the back of the next step canvas, and it functions as a parking space for thoughts and ideas. This segment is named idea and value proposition, and it consists of 3 building blocks. Its purpose is to identify and validate what problems your solution solves in the market and what value your solution brings to the market. Block number 1. Here you define what specific problems your solution solves in the market. Be selective and prioritize the most important problems. Moving on to block number 2. Here you briefly define and describe the solution that solves a defined problem. Your solution can either be a physical product, a concept or a service. Basically, you should be able to make a 10-second pitch to one of your potential customers. Finally, block number 3. Here you define the value that your solution brings to the market or your customers. And furthermore, define what makes your solution unique. Once again, be selective and prioritize the most important value propositions. Let's move on to the next segment called potential and go-to-market. This segment consists of 4 building blocks, and its purpose is to identify and validate the company's external relations in the market and thereby its potential. We start with block number 4. Here you define what market position you need in order to realize your potential. Ask yourself, what market segment, what customer segments or geography are we addressing? Next is block number 5. Here you define which channels are essential in order for the company to sell its solution. Once again, ask yourself, should we use direct or indirect sales channels? Do we need any strategic partners or network in order to penetrate new markets? How will we market and brand our solution? Moving on to block number 6. Here you map your competitors and the specific competitive advantages that both of you brings to the market. Furthermore, look into any unfair advantages that you possess and which cannot easily be copied, such as patents, strategic partners or knowledge. Finally, block number 7. Here you define what key performance indicators or KPIs that are essential in order to monitor your company's external performance towards the market. In order for a KPI to be relevant, you need to define a target and make sure that you have the access to the relevant data. Examples of relevant KPIs could be client visit per month, hours spent per sales, or return on marketing investment. The final segment is called team and operating model. This segment consists of 5 building blocks, and its purpose is to identify and validate how your company can deliver your solution in an effective and competitive way through the entire internal value chain. We start with block number 8. Here you define what cost drivers are essential in order for you to provide a competitive solution to the market. Ask yourself, is our solution primarily cost-driven, like Walmart, or value-driven, like Apple? Which key activities, production processes, or resources drives the most cost? Block number 9. Here you define your value chain. In other words, how do we add internal value to your solution from start to finish? Once again, ask yourself, Which production processes are essential and how can we design and optimize our production processes in order to stay competitive or increase profit? Next is block 10. Here you define your money-making logic. In other words, which price models do we need in order to generate revenue? The combination of cost structure and revenue streams shows you your profit and thereby your ability to make money. Last is block number 11. Here you define the competences and cultural behavior which are needed in order to support your solution or processes and make your business profitable. In other words, which competences do we need in our organization? What cultural behavior do we need? How do we as a company ensure that we have the right people on board? Finally, we go back to block number 7. Here you define what KPIs that are essential in order to monitor your company's internal performance towards your operation. Examples on relevant KPIs could be profit per unit, such as hours or kilos, deviation on profit, or employee utilization. This was a dive into Next Step Canvas, and I hope it gave you enough insight so that you can start filling out your own canvas. As mentioned previously, we will work with the Next Step Canvas through the entire program. On behalf of the Next Step Challenge team, we look forward to get insight to your company and help your business grow.